Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're playing the Stanley Parable. I heard this game's really funny. I've never played it before. Let's do this. Let's go. Yeah. Ooh, the end is never the end. The end is never the end. Is loading. Never. Nev. End is never the end. End is never the end. End is never the end. Is loading nev. That's what it is. Okay. It's taken a while to load. I think it might cut till me get finished loading. Oh, I finished loading. Oh wait. Ooh. It's got here. Ooh. Ooh. Story of man named Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee
Okay.
number 427's job was simple. And he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have
Even
considered it
Christmas?
soul-making, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, that's nice.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Ooh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ooh. Can I click stuff? No, okay. Ooh, when I left click. When I left click it, it makes a little keyboard noise. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, can we go in here? Nope. Over here. No, over here. Nope.
When Stanley came to a set...
Wait. Can I have subtitles? What's this?
of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, which? I'm gonna go this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he
Can I go
wanted to
backwards?
stop by the employee lounge first,
Oh.
just to admire it.
Okay, I'll stop by the employee lounge. Can I go in here? How about here? Can I go in here? Ooh, sofa lounge. Ooh.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Ooh. Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
There's a door here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. Ooh. This place is cool. What's here?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
What?
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Really?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Oh.
I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who's her? Who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Ah.
She's been waiting.
Ooh. What?
That's her, Stanley.
Wait. Video. Once. Okay. Oh wait, what's happened? Oh no. Oh there. Okay.
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her.
Ooh. What? Where am I?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. Oh,
I have a wife?
right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
What?
Gotcha.
Oh.
Come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
Oh.
Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay. Ooh. Hello.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Oh, on your keyboard. A 0.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press 8.
Look at him there, pushing
Ooh.
buttons, doing exactly
Wait.
what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
6.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
To watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize
What?
about his own job.
The
First, he
TV.
imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
See to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he
Aw.
came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind
What?
controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Ooh. Press O to go to the story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her, what?
But there is no
No!
answer. How could there
No!
possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing
Wait.
the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Oh. I have to go to
And
sleep.
I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world, he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me?
What?
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
What?
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Him to question nothing.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die. What?
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I...
What? Huh? What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
What?
it mean?
But we just were
Stanley
going...
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I guess we're starting over.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
go left
he
this
entered
time.
the door on his left.
Wait, no.
Yet there was not a single
Tips
person
for not
here
getting
either.
fired. Talk
Feeling
less.
a wave of
Do
disbelief,
unbelievably amazing
Stanley
work
decided
all
to
the
go
time
up
every
to his
day,
boss's
with
office,
no explanation
hoping
of
he
what.
might find an answer there.
Wait, what's projecting this? Bi-quarterly, what? Broom closet? There's a broom closet. I like brooms. Ooh!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Okay.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Oh. Yeah, I am. I'm just gonna sit here. Okay, it's gonna be fine.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because there's a broom right here.
You do realize
My
there's no
microphone almost
choice
fell.
or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
You know what? Fine. Just kidding.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite. I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right.
Okay.
When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Is he not going to talk now? Okay, I go back out.
Second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We go downstairs. Ooh. What? What's over here? Car?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
No.
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished.
Hey, what?
His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers
Maybe I am.
blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my god,
Why
what?
did
That's
doors
true.
close automatically
yeah.
behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Oh yeah.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange.
Yeah,
This
that
can't
would
be
make,
real.
yeah.
And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself,
I wanna go
I suppose
backwards.
I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my
No.
boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Yeah.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float
What?
above the ground. Then
Wait,
he
what?
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so
Goodness.
much fun, and
Whee!
Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Oh yeah.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now
Ooh, coffee
as he's
smell.
ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice
But you can
speak
crouch.
these words was quite a shock to
Stealth
Stanley.
mode.
After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed
Okay.
his eyes gently and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh, and that didn't work. Great.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I knew all the endings in this game. That'd be crazy. Getting all the endings? That'd be absurd. Wait, let me just do that. That would actually be absurd though, getting all of the endings. Can't be that many endings.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
wait, what?
He entered the door on his left.
Wait. There was no like rooms, it was just there. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Ooh, nice office. Nice. Nice. I'm going back down then. No, actually I don't want to do... I won't get stuck again. I'm gonna go... Let's go this way. Executive bathroom. Oh. Okay, finally. Ooh, can I go through the executive bathroom? No. Ooh. No. Ooh. No. Ooh, piano.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I can't play the piano.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Hey,
and
what?
so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, I couldn't have. 542.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he couldn't. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845. But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and
What?
the door just opened all
No.
by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay. Ooh, wait. What's this way? Secret? Wait, what? I don't like this. Have to crouch or something? Is this just a random secret? Okay. Ooh, button. No! Damn it. Loading. It's adding, loading, lower. Nice. Nice. I like this game.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
Mind
door
control.
that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm going this way. I want to escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What? Okay, wait. Okay, let me out. Is the door still open? The door's still open.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and
Yeah.
realized he simply had too much to live for.
Because I do. Oh, the door's closed. Great.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Ooh.
What horrible secret did this place hold?
What? No,
Stanley
I'm stuck.
thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Fine. Wait, can I? Is there any way I can get up? Nope. Okay. Boop.
Now the
Ooh,
monitors jumped to
goodness
life, their
gracious.
true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced
Oh my
to
God.
images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh my god.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Oh my God,
Was it
yeah.
the only he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh my god, oh my god, I'm right. He's right.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh my god.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this
Can I go down there? Ooh, I want to go
And
down
as the
there.
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. How do I do that? Oh, facility power. That makes sense, actually. Unless... What's that button? When these buttons, what do they do? 2 1 What does this do? 4? No. That was a waste of time. And you can't sprint because that would just make it too fast. You can crouch though for some reason. Oh wait, what? Mind controls idle, awaiting input. Ooh. What does that say? What's that say? I don't know.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Boop.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls,
Wait,
did you?
I changed my mind.
After they kept
I
you
changed my mind.
enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
No, I didn't. I didn't want control.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Oh no, I gotta get out of here.
How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your
What does it
heart's
say? What'd I do?
desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
No,
Mere
no.
moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
1, 2.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood.
Oh,
You're
no.
gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly
1, 2,
what happened to them. I erased them.
3.
I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
4.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything
Oh, no.
and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm
No.
sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
No!
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where
Red
you're
button.
going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable
Red.
of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
Big red
Won,
button.
solved? Do you have any
Re-enter
idea what your
passcode.
purpose in this place is? Stanley.
No.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first.
Console
so
disabled.
you can't.
You,
Take a look at
press
the clock,
any
Stanley.
key to
That's 30
send
seconds
power
you
to
have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No end.
Goodbye, employee
Just you being
47.
blown
No!
to pieces.
No.
Will you cling desperately
You stink.
to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke.
No.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Please! Oh. That was quite horror. What? He's evil. What if I just sit here? What if I go out?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped
It's
very
different.
much that it was.
Okay guys, see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. Bye.